Thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk About It Media 21. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And please turn on the notification bell. That way, every time I upload a video, you'll be the first one to see it. Let's get into it. What we're going to talk about, we talk about celebrity news, celebrity gossip, what's going on IG and Google, fair use, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. All comments are alleged in our opinion and for entertainment purposes only. And don't forget, the Cash App is Let's Talk About It Media. And thank you for your love and support.
So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe, and also turn on the notification bell. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. Iyanla Vanzant would like for women to offset and lower their standards. She says that a woman should date a bus driver if she wants to. A bus driver, due to social status, I date a bus driver if he loved to drive the bus. She also said if he loved his mother and he was respectful. This is the biggest thing. Do what you want. Don't lower your standards and take advice from anybody. You know what you want. You know what you need. You know what you seek to have in your life. If you want someone within the same status as you, that's fine. If you want to have someone at a higher bracket than you, that's fine. If you want to date someone that's lower income than you, that's fine. But no, that comes with slight issues. Great friends, told you, higher end, status, different things like that. We have the friend that dates the lower end. There's always issues. There's always arguments. He wants her to pay for things because she is higher bracket income. We have some that's middle class, and then they're debating who pays for the trip, who pays for the dinners, who pays for whatever they need to do. You have, I have, let's figure it out. And then you have the rich man that's basically paying for everything. The house, the cars, everything. And she's able to bank her money away. Maybe because she helped him get to the status, now he's the providers. All the situations are somewhat different, but you basically have to go for what's best for you. I've had girlfriends that dated lower and they were like, where you at? Where you going? Y'all always going on trips. Why can't you pay for me to go? Excuse me? So she's out about traveling with her girls and he's home with the children, or he's home and they have no children. So it just depends on you of who you want to date. Yes, it's a great thing if a person loves their mom, if a person loves driving the bus, that's fine. But if you have a standard of living, you shouldn't have to steer away from that. So if you haven't watched the Kenya, it's a show on YouTube. She has a channel that talks about dating. She asks who you are, what's your birth date, what's your sign, what are you seeking? And if you're seeking someone that has similar income, or you'll date someone that's lower income. She also asks what type of person are you looking for someone? She now makes people basically stand up and say, okay, I want, if the woman's a medium size, I want someone that's fit. Well, sis, you're not fit, but you want that out of him. So she kind of goes back and forth. She also talks about, great show. Haven't watched it lately. She also talked to women. Maybe they have 2 kids, but they don't want him to have none. She was like, well, that's not right. If you have 2, why can't he have 1 or 2? And then some women will say no. And she'll go, okay, let's see how that goes. Some guys will say, I don't mind having a woman that has 1 or 2, but then sometimes people in the comments like, yeah, okay, and then they're wondering, you know what I'm saying? So you really have to be careful. If you are a mother of daughters or sons, you have to be careful who's around your kids. Sometimes it's a better fit to date some men that may not have a bunch of kids, because you figure if you guys do decide to get married, will his child support issue become your child support issue? So everybody has a right to what they want, how they want, and how they want to live their life. I'm going to play the clip from another clip, and then that way we could talk about them speaking about, and you could agree or disagree. I get that she's no longer and she doesn't have her show. If you ever watched her, she basically said why she walked away. I'm not going to mention it, go look it up. But she did talk to us about why she walked away. And some of her shows I couldn't watch. Too harsh, too mean. You say the sky is blue, she wants you to say it's dark blue. You say my man is fine, she wants you to tell her how fine. She wants you to be so descriptive, and she wants to dictate everything you say, do, think, and feel. I don't really care for people like that. Let people be who they are. And this is the one thing. We speak about healthy relationships, so I'll do more stuff like this. Everybody's brought up different. You can't really change someone's outer appearance, inner appearance. If they want to change, that's up to them. Remember how Steve Harvey said, sometimes a guy or a girl will only change for the person they really love. They'll only change for one person. So to tell this woman to lower her standards and to try and find a bus driver, or and you know, she said she would date a bus driver. I'm gonna let you listen in, and then we'll kind of conversate. Note in the comments, how do you feel about when you grew up? Did your mom say date rich, date whoever you like, date, you know, somebody you can work with? Let me know in the comments. So let's listen in.
You. If he owns the bus, that's no. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standard, would you date a bus driver? You. Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus,
that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced.
Did you catch when she said, I would have my prenup? Red flag. If you have to have, and that's a great thing. I think most people should have a prenup. Flat out. We hear about the Mary J. Blige. We hear about the Kelly Clarkson. We hear about all these relationships that are going through trying to get a divorce. It's chaotic. It's sad. You hear about 1 year relationship divorce, you know, it took 2 years to get a divorce. It took 3 years to get a divorce. He took half her money. She has to pay him alimony. He wants to take the kids. She feels no. So there's so much that goes into when you're famous and you date lower. You know, you really have to be careful. The biggest thing was the Mary J. Blige. That opened everybody's eyes. And the Kelly Clarkson, that opened everybody's eyes too. I can't think of anybody else who had a relationship like that where, you know, I think in both situations, Mary J. Blige was dating and got married to her manager. Kelly Clarkson dated, got married to, I think, her manager or someone that assists her in that field. So, of course, that was a lot of money. I helped you, you know. Same, well, Wendy Williams. Kevin Hunter worked for Wendy. So sometimes you have to separate the two. And you've seen how she had to go through a lot to try and get a divorce from him. So let's listen in. Like she said, she'd have a prenup though.
Give us what we need instead of us building together. I could build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalance. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself. Would you date a bus?
And at least she said that the man has to do for himself. But you have to be okay with being okay when you and your girls travel and he can't go. You have to be okay to being okay when you guys go to a fancy restaurant. What is that? Fogo's, whatever it is. It's expensive. A plate is what? Almost $80, $100, depending on, when you go to an expensive place. He can't always afford that. His whole check will be gone within 2 weeks. So that's the biggest thing. You have to be very cognizant of what you want, what you seek, or it's just a body next to you. And everybody has a way of feeling and thinking, and some people will work with people. It's up to you. I just don't think that she should have said to her whether she should or shouldn't, and it's okay or not okay for her not to want to date one. It's her lifestyle. It's her standards. Anytime you try and tell people to lower or up their standards, it's up to them. You can't decide. Everybody has a comfort level. Everybody has a comfort zone. And everybody has a way that they feel at peace and what they're doing, feeling, and waking up next to a person. So I like both the ladies. But I do feel that you should not lower your standards to date somebody that can't meet your criteria in regards to do what's best for you. I feel that for some odd reason, I don't know why it is, people like to check her and try and debate with her. And it's like, you've already seen what she went through with Bravo. And that was a situationship in regards to them not really wanting to promote Black History Month. The women questioning her about why is this, why is that, why are we showing this? We didn't used to have this, so she stepped away from Bravo. I can't think of her name. She stepped away from Bravo 3-4 years ago, and she constantly talks about the different experiences she had with people on the show. So well wishes. I get it. I get the advice. But ladies, gentlemen, do what's best for you. Period. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe.